Hello everyone, this is White Wolf. We are going live and I wanted to talk about just choosing to live and just making that decision to choose to not decide your life, not try to dictate your life, not to try to figure out what's right or wrong, but just letting go in the perseverance of just letting go of thinking a certain way, of feeling a certain way, but only feeling the way that you want to really feel. And feeling into that vibration of just giving yourself freedom of mind, of body, of spirit, of knowing that you can give yourself the permission to be free will. If you just give yourself the willingness to wake up every day and to do what you need to do and what you feel is right in alignment for yourself, to always make sure that you get into that heightened state of awareness, which will allow you to set the miracle into motion, but allow you to set the appearances and the preferences and the vibration that you're projecting out into the universe. We are the mirroring effect of consciousness. We are mirroring back what we want to experience. We are attracting what we want to experience. We are reflecting what we want to experience. So we have the ability to just make the choice to be free in every single moment. If we choose to be free, if we're choosing to live, if we're choosing to breathe, if we're choosing to take everything in and use it as a way of extending the current state of consciousness that we are, then we allow ourselves to really choose to be free in every single way. Every single way that we feel, the way that we think, the way that our body feels, the way that we view ourselves, and the way that we give ourselves this choice, this decision, this action, to know that we can be a doer if we want to be a doer. And sometimes we can take our foot off the gas if we need to take our foot off the gas. And sometimes it's just making the choice to be like, I want to live my life freely as I choose to live it. And if I make that decision, then I am the freedom that I'm seeking. Then you're not making it predestined and you're not making it so far from you. And you're not putting the vibration on a pedestal to where you can't reach it and you can't achieve it and you can't manifest it. So we have to stop putting so much expectation and outcome and putting everything on a pedestal. But we have to look at ourselves like we are the pyramid that keeps ascending higher and higher and higher. And as we keep progressing and progressing, we choose to keep elevating the energy and keep moving the vibration, but also keep moving the direction of where our energy flows. And we have that ability to keep breaching through those thresholds so that we can have a breakdown that turns into a breakthrough. And we allow ourselves to just keep going upon the ladder, in a sense. So when we give ourselves that moment of bliss, that moment of clarity, that we are the extension of everything that we want to become. We are everything that we're looking for. We are everything that we're manifesting. And we're everything that we're trying to accomplish. So it's just about our development. It's just about how much we want to heal, how much we want to transcend this human condition, and how much we want to change ourselves. When we have the ability to have change in our life, we have the ability to move mountains. And when we have the ability to move mountains and we have the ability to make big strides and quantum leaps within our journey, then we're on our way to being fast-tracked, because we're changing the way that we're entering our future manifestations, because we're choosing to be present with everything. And because we're teleporting into those future manifestations, we're already there. We've already manifested the parallel realities. We've already quantum shifted into everything that we want to do. And we understand that by using these mechanics, by using these tools and these ways of learning and discerning, and using our authority to really speak it into existence, but also proclaim it into existence and declare it so that it's a known fact. So it's a known truth. So it's the truth that supersedes all understanding. When we know that it's the truth that supersedes all understanding, then we don't question it. Then we don't try to go against it. Then we don't try to argue or justify why I can't have the things that I want, why I can't go for this thing, why I can't really reach for my goals and my ambitions. And then literally you have the motherboard of creation in front of you. And it's kind of like with Tom Cruise in Minority Report, where he has like everything at his disposal, that I can click here and this happens here, and then I can go on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. So we have to move presently always. And we don't have to see every day as yesterday, but we can see every day as the next day, as the next thing, as the next thing that we want to delve ourselves into and make our experiences more heightened and more aware, so that we're able to be the essence of the experience instead of the reminiscence of the experience. So when we change the way that we view our experiences, the way that we view others, the way that we view the world, and that we don't have to wait, we don't have to disagree to agree, we don't have to feel like we have to be justified and keep living a perpetuated false self and then keep having Groundhog Day. You can literally change the routine of your day and it will alter your reality. You can literally say something completely different than the story that you've been telling yourself, and literally when you say that into existence, the divine hears it, your guides hear it, your higher self hears it. Everybody in the universe hears what you are proclaiming. Whenever we are meditating, we are sending out those smoke signals, my friends. We're sending out those smoke signals so that the divine knows what we really want. And every time that we project what we want, every time we send out what we want, every time when we choose to be epic and we choose to act on the desires that we've been afraid to act on, then everything shifts around us. When we choose to subtract something out of our life and that doesn't need to be there, we're moving energy, we're clearing energy, and we're creating space so that we can create so much differently. When we have the ability to do that, everything is so freeing. Everything in your life changes, and your mood changes, the way that you think about yourself changes, because you're not seeing yourself as a body, you're seeing yourself as a spiritual essence, you're seeing yourself as the I am presence, you're seeing yourself as God, and you're seeing everybody else as God. And you're looking at everything through the lens, through the eyes of God. And if you see everybody as God and everything as God, then you are the manifestation of life, my friends. You are it. There's no denying it. There's no debating it. I don't need to, be an independent or a Republican or a Democrat. I don't have to refute it. I don't have to, because I know that everything that I desire, that I want, that I speak into existence, that I project into existence, that I am the existence of the manifestation itself. You are the projection of every existence. Everybody is a reflection of you. And when we change the way that we use our preference, and we change the way that we view our empowerment, and we change the way that we go about life, life changes very drastically. Sometimes to the point where it might piss you off. It might stress you out. It might get under your skin. But it doesn't fucking matter, because you are loved. You are reborn. You are the dear beloved. And you're choosing to change among the rest, where everybody wants to stay within the night of the living dead, but you want to be with the light of the living. It's very freeing, my friends. It's a very good time to be alive. And if you've never been here before, this is White Wolf. I hope you're enjoying this live. That was my opening to this live. We might do some healing energy or meditation. My guides never let me know. But I wanted to do this live because I felt pretty fired up about the message, even though I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And it's kind of just choosing to live. It's choosing to breathe. It's choosing to be yourself. It's choosing to do the things that you've been putting off. And sometimes it's just making the choice to meditate. And sometimes you don't have to meditate for 5 hours. That's a waste of time sometimes, because some of you have very fulfilling lives. Some of you have jobs. Some of you have children. Sometimes a quick meditation can get you out of the rut that you're in, and you could have been in a rut for 2 weeks, and then suddenly something changes or breaks off of you, and you shed that layer of skin that you've been keeping on for so long. So we have to make the distinction that how we feel sometimes isn't truthful. But that's the guidance mechanism letting us know that when something really feels bad and it feels nasty, that's when you need to clean it up, and you need to get the Mr. Clean bar and just kind of scrub it out, right? Sometimes it's just the ability to change the way that you've been dressing your entire life. Or sometimes it's the ability to just clean your house for a second. And sometimes it's like the shed. I cleaned up the shed, I spread bleach in it, and I hosed it down. And even though I did kind of hurt myself with my ear, it doesn't matter, because now this is my base of operation, because my guides wanted me to do this. But I manifested this shed, and I manifested this space where I could do my work and I can do the things that I need to do. But it was the decision and the choice to make this my base of operation. So you are always under ground zero. You're always not a finished product. You're always under construction. So a lot of us, we can develop this sense of patience. But it's not a patience that we feel negatively towards, but it's kind of like living life as it goes, living life as it flows, and living life as it should be, as the unfolding of life. And choosing to live is choosing to enjoy. Expectation is so much bullshit that enjoying is so much more better than expectation. Because expectation is basing an outcome and worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet. And it was so funny, I heard something from this comedian who kind of fell off the wagon for a little bit. It was Dane Cook, and he said, most of the things that we worry about have never even happened. Half the stuff that we always obsess about, half the stuff that we worry about, half the stuff that we wish that would happen that hasn't even happened yet, all of that is perpetuating and believing that you are lacking and unworthy of something. So half the stuff that we worry about, half the stuff that we focus and fixate on, is not where our bread and butter is. But it's being here, and it's being now, and it's having the ability to transform yourself. Having the ability to just do it, having the ability to just get it done, and having the ability to say that I make the innate choice, that I am choosing to live here in the present, here and now. Because I am the power that initiates the present. I am the power that initiates the past and the future simultaneously. And if you are that, then there hasn't been an experience that you've ever not experienced. So worrying about another circumstance or experience is wasted energy. And what was funny when I was thinking about this message was that when we waste energy, we're draining our energy. And when we awaken and we start meditating and we start learning about our consciousness, how to focus our energy, how to use our drive, how to use our ambitions, we find time to not waste our energy on things that do not serve us. Do the things that serve you. Do the things that lift you up. Do the things that breathe life into your existence. Because that is the only way that you're going to stay grounded, that you're going to stay centered. And if you do that, if you always find the things that bless you the most, the things that give you the most power, the things that give you the most positive reinforcement within your existence, then you will always choose that essence of that reality. You will always choose it. You will always choose what makes you the most passionate, because you're living by preference. You're living by your own design. We were made in the image of the I Am Presence. So if we were made in that image, and we were made in that extension, and we were made in that holisticness, then we are the image that we create. We're the character that we take on. And sometimes it's like, like Tom Cruise in his movies. If you could have that Tom Cruise-like focus all the time, if you were saving the woman, if you were jumping out of the plane and being in your bliss, if you were able to sprint without stopping at 20 miles an hour, which he's able to run. And I'm not saying to, be his best friend or anything like that. But if you took what he did in his movies, there's such creativity there. But we can literally take something positive from anybody who is really negative. And I'm not saying that he's all negative, but I'm just saying that even a person that you don't like, sometimes they have something to teach you. Sometimes when you're envious of a rich person, then that's actually you identifying with what you don't have. But how can you learn from that more wealthy person? How they make decisions, how they stay in shape, or how they handle themselves within certain situations and circumstances. So we're always learning from other human beings. We're always really learning from one another. And we're always learning how to really become in that moment. And choosing to be the essence of every moment. And it's having the ability to change, to make a real change, but to rejoice and embrace in that change. If you embrace in the change, then you are the free will that you're wanting to manifest within your life, because you're having the willingness to be free. Because you let go of the attachment of it. You let go of the definition of it. And you've let go of the story that you're tied to it. And you've let go of Groundhog Day, and you're living every day as a new experience. It might be the same, but it's completely different to how you were once living your life. So you might cook dinner, you might mow the grass like I did today, you might go on a run. But is it exactly the same 20 years ago how you were living your life? Or even for me, 4 years ago, how I was living my life? No, because when we awaken, we choose the different experiences. Even though they might have a routine, you might have a similar thing that you do every single day, but something in that little minute pixel of creation is something different called the particle accelerator, which ignites different states of being, different states of consciousness, different ways of knowing yourself. So sometimes it's just doing something a little bit different. You can make one little choice that could alter your reality positively. And you can make one choice that could, make it very negative. But you don't want to think about the negative. You don't want to think about the distortion. You don't want to think about the false illusions and the false projections and the false perpetuation of how you feel about life. You don't want to think that way, and hello. You don't want to think that way. You don't want to go about life that way. You're like, fuck that. I want to choose to live and breathe and be the ecstasy in every moment. Because I know that I am the electromagnetic kinetic source energy pulse that breathes life into every type of existence. Because I'm giving it a reason to exist. I'm giving it a transcendent reason to exist here and now and presently. Give it a reason. Give it power. Give it vibration. Give it electricity and flavor and flair. But it's got to be your flair, It's got to be your authentic way that you go about life. And if you do that, then you are putting it on the divine, even. You're putting it on the divine. You're like, hey, work on my behalf. What are you doing? Work on my behalf. I need you to help me. I need you to assist me. Because the higher self and your guides, you guys are like a basketball team, okay? And they're trying to prep you to be the coach. They're trying to prep you to be the real leader. Not the point guard or the small forward or the center. Those are your guides. But your higher self is kind of like the assistant coach. And then you merge with that. And then you become the coach that guides the team and the organization. So you're allowing yourself to come full circle. Come full circle, my friends. And don't be afraid of the swirl. Don't be afraid of the whirlwind of creation. Don't be afraid of the tsunami of blessings that you can really encompass upon when you choose to do this. When you merge within that, then everything sort of becomes easier. So it's kind of like taking the dis-ease out of our life. I know a lot of people, there's been doctors that have done this. There have been so many people with meditation that have done this. They've broken addictions. They've healed themselves from illnesses. And a lot of the disease and the unhealthiness that we put on our lives sometimes has to do with the way that we're projecting, the way that we're carrying out a message, the way that we're going about life itself. And sometimes when we break that pattern, then we can be fully cleansed from it. And because it's purifying the soul, sometimes it's not always about the physical body. It has some to do with the physical body. I think there's 3 ways of spirituality. There's mind, body, and spirit. But sometimes it's not about the physical body. It's about what you're feeding your spirit. You have to feed your spirit the riches of life. And when you're able to do that, then you're able to really embark on a real change, on a real essence, on a real journey. And then everything around you starts to clear, your past lifetimes, your generational stuff, everything starts to break off from you. and you allow yourself to be within those golden arches, and without a shadow of a doubt, you just go for it. You go for everything. You're on the go constantly. So be here. Be here now. Don't be in the past. Don't be in the future. Because you can't linger within two spaces. Because you're going to be like a boat with having both of your feet in two boats and you're doing the Van Damme split, okay? It's not fun. But you got to be in one boat. You got to be on your yacht, okay? It doesn't matter what boat it is. It could be a kayak. It doesn't matter what it is. But you have to be in your lane, in your boat. Can't have your feet in two worlds, you know? So it's kind of like, I had to learn that a long time ago. Because, you know, I had to break free from a certain reality, break free from the way that they do family, you know, the way that we do relationships and things like that, the way that we go about life in general. So it's just coming full circle can be a little bit difficult for some. But when you have the ability to have the awareness, when you have the ability to heal and to transcend and to become, then you always become that. So I think we're going to do a meditation. I think that was the gist of my message today. But I also wanted to let you guys know that if you guys wanted to book private sessions, I had to raise my prices, guys. $150 for 1 hour sessions of psychic readings and healings. And I also do lives on TikTok, which I'm going to be doing this weekend and maybe tonight if I'm up for it. On TikTok, where I do live readings and healings and things of that nature. Usually the donations are $20 to $30. But if you wanted to book a private session from watching this live, and if you wanted to take part of a free meditation, we have a free meditation coming up as well. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope the internet connection's good. It seems like it is. I'm really surprised that it's good out here. So we're going to do a meditation, and with this meditation I want you to get grounded, to get centered, to feel into your vibration, but I also would like that you just allow for the zest of life to take over. Allow for the ecstasy of this moment to take over. Allow yourself to feel into the vibration that you want to become in this moment. The next step, the next quantum leap, the next way that you choose to live. When we choose to live life, we're letting go of expectation. And when we're letting go of expectation, then we're gaining our will. And when we're gaining our will, we're gaining momentum. And when we're gaining momentum, we're setting the miracles, the signs, the wonders, and the confirmations into motion by our preferences. And we're not trying to suffocate ourselves any longer. We're not trying to put ourselves in a box. We're not trying to put ourselves in a position to not be positionless and omnipresent in every single way, embracing that simultaneity. And when we choose to heal, we're choosing to heal the entire collective. And when we're choosing to redesign our decision making, our thinking, our actions, our projections, then we're trying to change the narrative, to change the story that we assume ourselves to be, but to change the theme. And when we're doing that, we're creating so much space to create differently, and we're just kind of pulling all of the weeds out of the garden. You don't want a bunch of weeds next to your flowers. So you want to pull all of the weeds that are not helping your harvest or helping your flowers grow. And you're literally making sure that nothing in that garden is filled with beautiful flowers, hibiscus, jasmine, no matter what it is. It could be roses, whatever it may be. You're wanting to water it, you're wanting to fertilize it, and you're wanting to make sure that it has its most benefits with what you're trying to create into existence, taking care of your plants. And using this metaphor will help you kind of understand that we are kind of like that. Sometimes we just need that fertilizer and that water, and sometimes we need a little lift up because we've been kind of a plant that's been hanging over. But once you give it a little bit of water, it starts to sprout. It starts to lift itself up. And sometimes we have to treat ourselves like that. And when you feel into this power of this transcendental reasoning, of this transcendental letting go and stepping off, and stepping out of the Groundhog Day, then there is no revolving door, but you're finally turning on your axis. You're finally in a state where there's a constant state of fluctuation and there's a constant state of flow. And when you have that within your space, then you're really leading by your heart, leading by transcendent reason. And you're choosing to live. You're choosing to be the breath of fresh air. You're choosing to be the manifestation of life. You're choosing to be the wisdom. Not the formalities, not right or wrong, not justifying, not putting yourself through pain and suffering, but to saying, basically, fuck that. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to feel lacking of anything. I don't want to be the sense of unworthiness. And I want to be the reason that life is happening. Even though that we already are that, but sometimes we need that reinforcement or that validation or that confirmation to say that I am the light, the love, the wisdom of the oracle. Choose to live life always, and you will always prosper in any way that you can. You will always be the ascended master within. You will always be a culmination of the continuity of your own divinity. And when you choose to do that, then everything breaks off of you. Everything is very much copacetic. Everything is more of a unified, wisdom-oriented way of living. So prioritize your creation. Don't forget yourself. Because you have to love yourself, you have to have self-care, and you have to live for yourself before you do anything for others. You are the oneness. By making a decision to choose to live, it means that you're choosing to be the organism that generates the new DNA, the new bloodlines, the new sources of energy, the source codes, if you will. So we're a part of this cosmic codex, and we're here to follow our prophetic nature, our prophecy that's been laid before us, so that the other prophets that come after us are made sure that they are taught well, that they get to do the things they need to do, and then they plant more seeds. And that is why we're here. That's why all of us are here, in the now, in the present, alive and well. Just be the oracle of Loveline Wisdom, and you will have everything that you've ever wanted. You'll have everything that you need, and you will have everything to become the God of your life. Everyone take one last deep breath. And so it is. The wind's blowing a lot. So I want to thank you guys for being a part of this live. And I also want to thank everybody who enjoyed the meditation. So if you guys want to book private sessions with me, just feel free to do that. Also text me on TikTok or email me. It's $150 for psychic readings, healings, activations, and I do live feeds where I do that as well, and I'm going to be doing that this weekend. I might do it tonight. It depends on how I feel later. If I kind of eat some dinner and I'm kind of tired, then I probably won't, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. So I hope everyone enjoyed the live, enjoyed the meditation, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by. And just know, choosing to live is choosing to be your authentic self. It's choosing to be everything that you want to become. It's choosing to be the light, the love, and the essence of everything. So thank you guys so much. God bless, and namaste.